This is Linnea, and you're listening to Without Your Head, which I've done in a lot of movies. Have a good day, and stay scared.
Without Your Head. I'm Nasty Neil.
This is Annabelle Lecter.
Yes, and joining us right now is Camille Keaton of I Spit on Your Grave and a lot of other cool things we're going to talk about. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Excellent. Now, you've got a lot of appearances coming up.
Oh, yes, I do.
We're going to talk about... one of them is Rock and Shock, which is our area.
It's our local place.
Yeah, we're in Massachusetts. It's coming up in October.
Yeah, Rock and Shock. That's going to be in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can find them if you're on Facebook on my cover page. I have 5 of them. They're listed there.
Oh,
and the first one's going to... Yeah, I'm going to be at Shockathon and Fangoria, BeerCon, Rock and Shock, Dark History, and going on Bangor. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Bangor Fest, which is in Maine, and the Dark History is going to be in Illinois, and it's about 3 hours out of Illinois. Help me out here. What is the name of that town? Oh my God, they're going to kill me.
But they can always go to Facebook, look up Camille.
Yeah, they're going to be on Facebook. They're going to be all over the place. That's what I've been doing.
Neil will get it before you.
Yeah, and I'll have
I'll
have all the links and all the information right on the website, so everyone can just read it right here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it'll be very easy to do. But yeah, Dark Horror and History Convention is coming up October 21st through the 23rd.
Yeah, I can't look at mine right now, although I could get my iPad out.
Nah, it's all right.
So how do you like this convention thing? It must be really... I know for a lot of the guests we've had who took... the convention thing seems to have really just blossomed completely. How are you enjoying it?
It really has, and I enjoy it a lot. I met wonderful people there. I love to interact with my fans and people that I know there that I've met over the years, and they're fun.
Yeah, the horror people are a good crowd. That is something else people have noticed, and they've been honest about, is when you kind of, if you're a person that is an actor or actress, you don't necessarily love horror, but you'll act in a movie because you're hired to do the movie. But maybe there's ideas about what horror people might be like. And then when they're at the convention, they meet everybody. They realize, wow, these people might be strange, but they're lovely people.
Yeah, we're just people like everyone else. We're not like the people we are in the movies. At least I don't think so. And we're just people and down to earth and that are actors.
So, the movie was almost 40 years ago. There's been all kinds of films since then, but a lot of movies come and go. What is it about I Spit in a Grave that sticks with people? And it continually finds new audience.
Well, I think that it was done and shot in such a way that it really seems real, and it's really in your face. And the fact that it has no music in it, and except for in a couple of places, in a restaurant or something like that, you really do focus in on the characters and what's happening. And what's happening is really scary. I don't know if scary is the word, but really some amazing stuff that's happening there.
I agree with scary for sure. I mean, it's not like scary. A stereotypical, whoa, what was that? That was a scary sound. It's not like a ghost story scary, but yeah, I mean, the woman is brutally raped by a bunch of guys. It's terrifying.
Yeah. When we filmed those scenes, whoa, it was incredible, especially the rock rape.
Yeah.
At which point, and you've probably heard this or read about this before, I thought that we had finished all the rapes, and the director, who I have more and more respect for as the years go by, I really do. He said, "No, you got to do this rock rape." And I said, "No, I thought you said I was done with all the rock rapes. I don't want to do another rape, please." Well, anyway, we got beyond that, and we did do it. And it wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I don't know if you know that I asked him to demonstrate to me how to do it. I don't know if you know that story or not.
No.
Well, I went away for about 45 minutes and got into someone's car, and I cried, and I thought, there's nowhere to go. There's no a way to be able to go, even if I knew where I was going. So I'm going to have to go back there. And I went back to where they were, and I said, "Okay, we're going to do this. I would like for you to demonstrate to me how to do this rock rape. You show me how to do it." Mm-hmm. I mean, the tension was really high. I mean, we all have our moments, and that was one of mine. And so he said, "Okay," and he's taking off his clothes, and he gets down to his skivvies, and I said, No, stop there. Don't take that off. And he went and he, I didn't want to be too hard on him. And he showed me how to do it, and he rolled off the rock, and, and I think he skimmed himself up a little bit, and I said, "Well, thank you." And then I felt like, okay, I can do this now. I felt somehow a little bit better about it. I don't know why, but you do it, and then I'll do it.
Yeah, for sure. Huge credit to him, and good on you to even ask, because I'm sure as a person running the show, most people would say, "No, that's why I hired you, and I'm not going to do that." I mean, because it's a degrading act. Acting is not, but it's rape. And to even have to act that out, that must have been so hard, and that you were able to stick with it. It's hard. The first time I watched it, and I watched some really dark horror movies and like stuff horror people don't like, and I had to stop watching it more than once. The Rock was the worst. But just have to do it and get into that role effectively, it's mind-blowing to me.
That rape scene in particular, I just gave it all I had. Everything I had, I wanted to get it done in one take, at least the part where the camera is on me and focusing on me. And, I gave it everything. And then I rolled off the rock and ran into the tree there. And there wasn't a scratch on me. And I thought, that wasn't so hard. I just did not want to do that. And the set, the people that were working there in the set, everybody was so professional. The guys, the actors in the film, they were respectful. They probably didn't particularly like what they were doing either. Yeah. And so it all worked well. And we were also very hungry, and we weren't going to get to eat until after that scene was done. So let's get it done and eat.
Yeah. You'd mentioned that your respect for the director has grown over the years. How has your view on the movie changed over the years, and how was your relationship with the director at the time?
Well, there's two questions there. I personally was hoping and praying the film would never come out. And someone told me before I made the film in New York, they said, "Oh, a lot of these films never even come out. Camille, do it. get some experience in an American film, and so I went along and did it. And I didn't want to do it because, what are my parents going to say? What if my grandmother saw it? Oh my God! So I didn't want to, I wasn't really hoping that it would come out even, but it has gone all the way over to the other side now. Mm-hmm. I happen to be very proud of that movie and what it's done and the reactions that it has gotten from people and the way they feel about it. And I think the time in my life that really changed me is when I was at a convention and this girl approached me and she said to me, Camille, you have no idea what that movie did for me. And she went on and we talked for about a half an hour and told me about something that happened to her. And she said, that movie has meant everything to me. Wow. And it just made me, it made me feel like, well, there's a lot of redeeming qualities then about this, even if you see all this stuff, and it's hard to watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's hard. A lot of people fast forward through the first part of the film, they tell me. So it's very hard to watch, but it certainly does make its point, doesn't it? I don't know if I'm making mine, but...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You mentioned, before that scene, going to your car, going away and crying. And here on Facebook, Mike Terry asks, did you find the role in I Spit in Your Grave to be more physically taxing or mentally, emotionally taxing, considering the subject matter?
I found it both. It was physically taxing and for a couple of us, actually. But not so much to a degree that, we're really hurt. We may have had to go see somebody and get a Band-Aid or looked at, but yeah, it was. It's a very physical film, all that running around and in the woods. People think that my feet on the bottom are made of, some kind of metal or something, because in the follow-up movie, the sequel, I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu, I'm running around barefoot in that one too. And they say, how do you do that? And I said, I don't know. I've just always been able to do that. And I do test ground first, for rocks and whatever. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, physically it was taxing. Then the other question was emotionally and mentally. Yeah, I had my moments there too, of course.
Did it stick with you afterwards? And how long did it take? If it did, how long did it take to move past her? Or was it like, I achieved this, it's over, and I'm moving on to the rest of my life?
I'm the kind of person, when I'm finished with something, I move on. Mm-hmm. I did it, okay, and I go. And just about everything I do, I just, okay, that's done, and if I need to do something about it, that's different. And then I carry on with my life. And of course, I had feelings like, oh my God, when will my mother and father see this? And feelings like that. I was concerned about that. And they did see it eventually. Mm-hmm. My father saw it, and then my mother saw it a few years later. She said to me, Camille, are you ever going to show me that movie? I said, Mother, I said, you don't want to see this movie? And she said, yes, I do. I said, okay. And we popped in the DVD, and she's watching it, and there's a part in there where they're raping me and beating me up in the house, in the cabin, and kicking me. They're kicking me, and I'm crying, and she starts laughing, and I look at her and I say, why are you laughing?
Thanks, Mom.
And she said, Camille, I'm your mother. I know when you're acting. I mean, they're hard to fool. They know your parents.
Well, that was good, though. Because I was thinking, man, that would be terrible to watch your daughter for most parents, to watch your daughter getting beat up and raped. That would have been hard. But I'm happy it worked out that way.
Yeah, and I'm happy that my grandmother never saw it.
Yeah. The mentally handicapped character in the movie Michael, that's something I think's really never been into. That kind of character's ever really been in a film like this before. What did you think of that character when you were reading the script?
Are you talking about Matthew? We're talking about the first, I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did take note of it, and what happened, this is the way it happened. Merrick gave me some sides, and I auditioned with the sides. And then when he pretty much decided that he was going to give me the part, he gave me the script. And then I started reading the script, and then there wasn't that much time to think about a lot of things like you just mentioned. And I was thinking more about, oh, no, I'm going to have to be nude there. And look at that scene. I was thinking more about things like that and how are they going to shoot that. But, yes, I mean, the whole movie, I mean, you could call it a little bit taboo. And the fact that he put Matthew in there just added to, this isn't just for guys. This is for different guys. One's kind of the leader of the pack, and then there's the other two, and then there's Matthew.
Matthew's really interesting because you kind of can feel bad for him. I mean, he's involved, but at the same time, he's played upon and taken advantage of, and it's sad what ends up happening to him. Because if he was around decent people, he would have been fine. So
yeah, and there's been a lot of discussion about that over the years. I mean, a lot. I guess he, went along with it, and at that point in time, the character just felt like maybe she lost a part of her soul.
Yeah.
You mentioned I Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu, and I think the whole premise of that's really interesting. That you play the same character, years later, and it's you want to give people an idea what the movie's about?
Well, in Deja Vu, I play Mom. I have a daughter, a beautiful daughter, played by Jamie Bernadette, and there's a couple other people I'd like to mention. Also, Maria Olsen is in the movie, and they both do such awesome jobs, and everybody did. And I can't tell you a whole lot about the movie, but I just can't do that. But I can tell you is they have it about 75% done, and I can only say it's coming out in 2017 because they don't know. And they shot it, it was 29 shooting days that we did Deja Vu, starting September 21st. And yesterday, I believe, or I think it was yesterday, was a 1-year anniversary. So it's about 6.5 weeks.
I know it said when I was reading about it, this is public information, that basically it's your original character. She was a writer. She wrote about an account of what happened, and because of the trial, she was found not guilty, or she ended up going to jail. And then there's things that happen with people involved in those men's lives, like the wife of the gas station guy and other relatives. It sounds really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it for sure.
Me too. I mean, we all are. course, we know what's going on, but we're trying to keep a cap on it and not let it out. And I think as Jan McConnell, who is the line producer, said recently, it will be worth the wait. She may have seen some of it here and there. She was the line producer and did a marvelous job.
That's always good, though, because it's worth waiting. If something's taking a while to put out, you know it's because they're working at it. It's taking time for a reason. So with anything, I'd rather wait and have it come out the way it was intended than rush through it just to please people concerned about time.
Yeah, there's so many films are done today, like shooting it in 10 days and then having it edited in another 10 days or whatever they're doing. They're doing this the same way they did the other one. A 6-week shoot, and I don't know what that was. I think I was getting a call. Did you hear that?
I did not hear it.
I don't think
okay, that was in on my side. Okay. Good. Let's see. Where were we?
I just about the sequel coming out, but I think we covered it pretty well.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, it's okay. We were talking, you had mentioned about things being turned out so quickly now, as opposed to this other film that's taking its time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some questions here on the Facebook page, too. Joe Mazzella wants to know.
I think it's going to take about the same amount of time as the other film to edit, and as far as when it comes out, it may come out sooner than the original I Spit on Your Grave. It seemed like forever for the movie to come out. I don't know if you realize that or not. He had a hard time with that.
It must have been really hard to find someone that wanted to distribute it.
Yes.
That subject matter.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce the director's name? Is it Meir?
Meir. M-E-I-R, like Golda Meir. Zarki.
So I did want to, Neil, before you give an audience question, is why did it take so long between these films? I imagine Meir had been thinking about this for a very long time, and probably I would imagine you would have been interested in doing it if he'd brought it up earlier. So what was the reason for the wait for so long, with all these other remakes and sequels and all this stuff coming out?
I don't know. That's the question that you would have to ask him. And I mentioned it to him a few times. I said, why don't you do I Spit on Your Grave too? Something like that. And then they did the other films, the ones with, let's see, Sarah Butler. Mm-hmm. I think she did the remake of let's see, she just did the movie, then a remake to that movie, and I saw one of them, and it was really good. She did an exceptional job.
Yeah,
everybody did in that film.
Yeah, I don't usually like remakes, and I watched that one recently for the purpose of this interview, and I thought it was for most remakes, I thought it was pretty decent. All the villains were pretty darn unlikable, and I thought she did a really good job. A lot of times I think, especially in modern films, they get women who just look pretty and can't really pull off the toughness without it being about, just strictly about their sexiness. But clearly she needs to be attractive for the role. That's a big part of why the film works, and even happens to begin with. But I think it's a really good balance between her physicality and her being able to come off as...
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah.
And I met her in person, too. She's a really nice young woman. And, she's a good actress.
So let's see here. Joe Mazzella on Facebook wants to know about your experience with Donald Farmer with the Savage Vengeance film.
What was my experience with that? Yeah. It was unusual. It was... all of my film experiences are unusual, it seems, but no, it was a little bit unusual. It was, I had been accustomed to making films in Europe and having a crew of, 20 to 30 people, and On his film, it was more about 3 or 4 people, and I wasn't, used to that. And Donald and I had our differences in respect to that film. We're good friends today, and I would work with him again. But I expected something entirely different than the way he filmed that.
David Rodriguez wants to know if you have any memories of Buster Keaton.
No, I do not. I never met Buster Keaton. I was told that he's like very remotely related to our Keaton family, but I never met him. And we could all of us Keatons could be related to him. I don't know, but I do know some Keatons that are much more related to him, and they're in, I believe, Oregon or Washington. Nice people. I never met him, so.
Do you have any stories with you and Linnea Quigley? Because you'd mentioned to me that you're good friends.
Oh, man, do I have stories about me and Linnea? Oh, yeah, just all kinds of stories. She is my good friend down here in Florida. Doesn't live too far from me, and, we feel like it's a little bit uptight down here, and we feel like we cause a disturbance everywhere we go. And, we don't feel like we belong here. And
what part of Florida are you in? Approximately. I don't know if you want to say the town.
I'm just south of Boca Raton and north of Fort Lauderdale, in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so different than
from the East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast. And it's just different. And but I'm so happy I have somebody to relate to, that I can really relate to well, that's in this industry down here. Herschel Gordon
Lewis.
Herschel Lewis. What's his name?
Herschel Gordon Lewis.
He lives down here, but we, we don't hang out together, but he's down in this area. And
the three of you together would tear the town apart.
Yeah, Herschel Gordon Mayer. Oh, what was his last name? I'm sorry.
Lewis.
Herschel Gordon.
Like Lewis and Clark.
Yes. I have a hard time with those 3 names,
It's
a mouthful.
And who else do we have down here? A couple other people that I think they worked in The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. And I don't have TV, so I've not seen it.
Now, are you a horror movie fan? Is that what kind of movies do you watch?
I like good movies, just like music. Uh-huh. If the music is good, I love to listen to it. If the movie is good, I really enjoy seeing it. I just saw a movie the other day, and it was the first time that, let's say, a scary movie, or whatever you want to call it, I was squirming in my seat, clawing on the arm of the fellow that was sitting next to me, and like that, and going, oh, don't breathe.
Neil, you just saw it, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was. I loved it. I thought it was. It's great. It's very tense
powerful. Right
from the beginning throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Oh, it really is. Yeah. And I don't go to movies very often, but and I don't know if I'd call that a horror movie either. But it was what would you call that? It's like kind of like
Neil and I are
really could really happen.
Yeah, if something is scary, whether it's monsters or chainsaw guys, or even, I guess it would maybe be called a thriller. But to us, it's throw it in the bucket of horror. It's got something that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that movie. And I like other kind of movies too, like Spotlight and a couple of other films last year that won some awards.
Yeah, I remember. I haven't seen Spotlight, but I've heard a lot about it. Plus, it's
it's very good.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you have Death House is also coming out. I know you can't really talk a lot about it, but had Gunnar Hanson, who wrote it, did he talk to you at all about the movie before he passed away, or did you get involved after he had passed away?
No, I met Gunnar about 6 months before he passed away, and I thought, he is such a nice man. I hope to get to know him because he's so very nice. And that was the only time that we had a conversation, and that was at a convention. And then it just so happens that he wrote Death House.
So how did you get involved in Death House?
Through my agent.
Okay. Yeah, Gunnar was a really nice guy. We'd met him, a few times, and it's a shame he passed away. Have you met him?
It's one of those people you want to see again when you meet. I think, what a nice man.
Yeah. Genuine. Real genuine.
Very.
Which I appreciate a lot in a person, is there's no crap going on. You just a real guy.
And it was a lot of fun working on Death House. I mean, it's I think it's going to be something else. It's I can't give away too much about it. A lot of actors are in it that I see all the time. Yeah.
It's got to be at least
really
20 people
to that.
I recognize easily.
Oh, yeah.
It's just loaded.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one all horror fans are really looking forward to seeing.
Definitely.
Yes.
And I didn't want to ask you, too, about the... because it's really iconic, the image of the poster for I Spit on Your Grave. And just what are your thoughts on that? Because you see it everywhere. One time we were at a convention with you in Charlotte, and someone had come up to you and had the poster image tattooed all over their back. It was like a full back tattoo of it.
Are you talking about the poster I Spit on Your Grave or the original poster Day of the Woman?
Actually, I guess I Spit on Your Grave. I'm not sure if...
I Spit on Your Grave with your back turned.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is the original poster was called Day of the Woman because that's what it was called before they changed it to I Spit on Your Grave. So what was the question about that again? I'm sorry.
Just what are your thoughts on the poster itself, because it is like a very iconic image in horror, I think, for that poster. And actually one time when one time when we met you at a convention, someone came up, we had a booth across like the hall from you, and someone came up with that image tattoo. It was a whole full back tattoo.
It is a big guy.
Yeah.
It was a big guy.
Wow. I would have loved to have seen that. Maybe I will at one of these conventions.
Yeah.
I noticed one thing I did notice. The press book has the same... I don't want to mix them up. No, that's Day of the Woman, the press book I'm thinking of. Yeah.
It's really interesting.
I don't want to get my posters mixed up. I need to even go and look at them because the poster you're talking about is the one that...
with your back turned and you have the...
Yeah, and you can see your body, like your butt and your legs are sticking out. And you can't see your face at all. It's like the one, this I Spit on Your Grave, it's got big red letters like I Spit on Your Grave, and you can't even see your head. And I'm looking at on the internet, Day of the Woman, it's your face. Your hair is down and stringy and you look like a mess, and then there's a tree and a hanging. It's wild, the difference, because Day of the Woman looks more drama. I Spit on Your Grave is very sensational. It's like, there's your ass and you're torn up.
Yeah.
And it's I Spit Grave. And the other one is, it's a very different vibe. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm running in here to the other room because I want to take a look at it myself. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of Day of the Woman, that poster, and I'm not thinking of the same poster, and I don't have that anymore. I don't think the most recent.
I'm sure someone would bring you one.
Which is too bad. I'm looking. Oh well, looking in my bag. Well, I thought they did a good job on the poster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They both are excellent. But
the one you're talking about, okay. And I think you're talking about the one where you see me from the back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, and I have I'm holding the knife in my right hand, and I'm looking at me holding the knife, and I'm thinking, why am I holding the knife that way? I'm going to hurt myself. You see that? You see what I mean?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Actually did
You're
take
not,
that. Yeah.
You're holding the blade. It's not going to work.
Yeah. I mean, this woman was really amazing, wasn't she? She could, or not thinking too well at that moment. Yeah.
Now, do you know why they changed it? Not even just the poster, but the title altogether, Day of the Woman, which is it sounds kind of feminist. And then I Spit on Your Grave. It sounds more appealing to a horror fan. It's got spit and grave.
Oh, we always preferred Day of the Woman, but the distributor changed it to I Spit on Your Grave. And I must say, the thing about I Spit on Your Grave is you don't forget the title.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
You don't confuse it with anything.
That's
I do like Day of the Woman. It's a much nicer title, but then she could be doing the laundry or going to the grocery store. She could be doing all kinds of things.
Yeah. Would have been a much different film.
And I think that's the thing, is it implies something different. And to get kind of a little almost political, the Day of the Woman sounds like some men might be like, ugh, I don't want to see the Day of the Woman, but I'll see I Spit on Your Grave.
There you go. That's marketing for you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't know
all
if you
about
want
the marketing.
I don't know if you'd want to answer this, but actually, one of the fans here, Al Wolf, asked, "Is there anyone's grave you would spit on in real life?"
I try to stay away from cemeteries. So, yeah,
from a distance.
I don't even want to go there. There's just one thing I wanted to tell you about I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu. Mm-hmm. It is, a lot of it is filmed in a cemetery, which happens to be Evergreen Cemetery, the oldest cemetery in L.A. It's in East Los Angeles, and it's 67 acres, and it's the oldest cemetery. They have mayors, pioneers, and
so it must have headstones.
Prominent citizens are buried there. So it's a very interesting place. There are some people that actually are into touring and looking and taking pictures of cemeteries. I met one.
Now, a lot of modern cemeteries in LA is either crypts or something like that. There are not as many headstones now. So are there headstones in that cemetery? I would assume if you're filming there has to be something to look at.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. If you just Google Evergreen Cemetery,
I will do that.
It'll come up. Just put Los Angeles.
Everyone types.
And you are Googling it. I can hear you.
Oh, yeah. I'm right here. Oh, yeah. There's some pictures right away of how it looks. I don't know. Oh, it must be after a fire because it's all brown and flat and it looks burnt. It's very intense. And then there's like a picture where it's just dirt. There's a couple pictures where it's green, but it's pretty. It's wow.
Well, I may have another picture of it. It doesn't sound like the one I have. I know it's right in the middle too of like a metropolis. I mean, a city. Part of, I guess, East LA is around it, and it's not often to some long, far away area.
Yeah, it looks like the gravestones are all up on other blocks to keep them probably from heaving with the weather. That's really interesting. In New England, they're all like these pieces of slate chipped into the ground. All the old ones are just like apart. Yeah, the cemeteries here.
Yes, they're everywhere.
That's amazing. Just looking at the one picture, the perspective where it just goes on and on and on and on and on.
Do You did mention Facebook for people to find, where you're going to be and whatnot. So, what is the Facebook? What's the address for your Facebook? And do you have Twitter? And what's the easiest way to follow you?
Camille Keaton at AOL.com. Camille Keaton at AOL.com. And it's on the cover page at the top. That's where all the shows are listed. Nice. Yeah. And so that stays there. And I'm trying not to post very much because I want to keep the shows up there.
Or else they get
and I'm not on Twitter. Well, I may be on Twitter, but I don't know who's running it. Someone said they saw me on Twitter. I said, you did? Okay. And I just recently got onto what's it called?
Instagram, maybe?
Not Twitter.
Instagram, maybe?
Pardon?
Is it Instagram?
Yeah. Yeah, Instagram, yeah. And I really like that. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Twitter, I read an article recently that Twitter's in trouble. Instagram's really taken over. Yeah. So don't worry about Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm not.
The kids are not into Twitter. The kids are all into Instagram.
I just want to get as many pictures as I can up there, here and there. I don't want to put too many pictures up there. And on Instagram, I can put pictures on there all the time. Right now, I'm trying to not put too many pictures up there on Facebook because I want to keep the, the things about the shows up there,
right.
Each one and where it is and what date. So...
Otherwise, you get hidden
go there and
quickly.
Look.
Exactly.
So, are you just on Instagram as Camille? Oh, there you are right now.
Yeah. Excellent.
Do you see it?
Yep. You look great.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I like hearing that.
Yeah, I will follow you on the Instagram. So
some of those pictures may not be recent, but some of them are.
Well, we want to thank you for coming on. It's been excellent talking to you, and I'm glad you stayed here for a while.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Well, yeah, I've enjoyed it too, and I hope that you will enjoy the upcoming I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu, and whatever may follow after that.
Excellent, definitely.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and we'd love to have you back sometime when the movies come out.
Yeah.
That'd be wonderful. And thank you, Annabelle. Thank you, Neil. It's been great talking to you.
Great talking with you, too. We'll see you at a convention sometime, too.
Definitely.
I hope so. Yeah. Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too. Good luck.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Aha. Hi. This is Herschel Gordon Lewis, and you are listening to WithoutYourHead.com.